welcome to the Camnet Breakfast. My name is Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and as you can see, it's a full set today because it's the last breakfast show of 2022. I wish we had all the weekly hosts of the breakfast shows, but unfortunately we have shifts. So yeah, but I think that will be considered in the coming year.
Definitely.
So I'm joined by Sarah Chandamanga and Amazing Katamanda. We need to give Amazing Katamanda a middle name.
Yes, because
think of it right now.
Really?
Right now.
Amazing. Wait, what should it be?
Anything.
Good amazing.
Really?
I wanted to add Precious. No, Amazing Loveness Katamanda.
Yeah, Amazing Loveness Katamanda.
Wow.
We've given her a third name because here our tags. Our signature are three names. Yeah, so today's topic is one topic that people talk about when the year is about to end on radio programs, breakfast shows, and also meetings at work and different institutions. For those of you that get to have yearly reviews, they'll ask you what your New Year plans are. So we would like to know what your New Year resolutions are for the year 2023. Today is the last day, 365 of 365. Let's clap for ourselves, guys. It's been an awesome year. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough year, but we made it.
Yes, definitely. We've put through because it has been a very challenging year. Looking at some changes, maybe countrywide and also maybe part of the world as well. It has brought, like, I would say, the attention of people. It's I don't know how to explain it, but there are certain challenges that everyone was affected.
Especially the COVID-19.
Yes,
and it's bad.
Was affected big time. But it wasn't that much this year, COVID-19.
Yeah? Well, yeah, for the fact that even the wearing of masks was actually lifted.
I know, right?
And how is it though?
It's fun because at least we get to see people smiling.
Exactly.
Those face masks.
I used to say
that took away people's
beauty. Yeah,
I know,
definitely.
right?
Yeah, we didn't smile for 2 years. Coming to think of it.
Exactly.
But it was a problem because
years.
people were hiding through that. Yes, you go in ShopRite, maybe you're expecting maybe an uncle, anybody to bump into you and request for something. You know what? Buy for me this. Now the first mask will hide you from such character.
We've got her. We've got her.
Problem.
But it's actually true that during the time of COVID-19, a lot of things were taken away from people, jobs, time, and a lot of money. Because, you know, the one thing I have discovered is that when I am not home, my groceries last.
Really?
Yes. Because
because there's no one to cook.
Exactly, and I'm rarely snacking here and there. But when I am home,
in a month you have to buy.
let me say, when I am home,
Oh goodness! Tell us about it.
I would want to make some popcorns. I would want to nibble on some ice cream.
You just don't want to see
I just don't want to see food. If my fridge used to talk, I think we'll be having weird conversations. We'll be like 5 minutes later, Precious, you're back already. So there's so many things, and also it was so sad that the gender-based violence cases actually increased because now couples used to spend more time together, misunderstandings here and there. It was more like this is when you're now getting into the relationship, because half the time you meet your partner after work. Okay, the whole day you weren't with them, but then when you go there, now that's the time for you to bond. But it was unfortunate for some couples that that's the time they actually had the conflicts going on. But we thank God that we had passed that stage. Unfortunately, there have been some cases of COVID-19 currently, so just be on the lookout. In as much as we were told not to wear a mask, it looks like we might go back to that era. And also, it's during the festive season, a whole lot of things are happening on the road and different places. Just make sure that you are safe.
Definitely.
Yeah. So our topic of discussion, like we mentioned, is New Year's resolutions. And remember, we've got so many things fully packed for you. We've got guests coming through just to look at how the year has been when it comes to land administration. And also, we're looking at the current new minimum wage for workers. So there has been complaints from different stakeholders and the country at large, and also employers have given their views on that topic. Right about now, let's not bore you. You can get in touch with us on Facebook. And also you can directly call us and tell us how you will spend your new year. For now, let's get into our first conversation of the day, which is the Morning Boost. We'll join you on the other side. Good morning. Okay, looks like our Morning Boost.
Hello guys. Today we're not doing any workout, but we're doing a beneficial one. Yeah, today is only my mouth that is going to exercise. By the way, you've been with me and you're still with me, Harrison, aka the Fitness Puppy, here at Sean's Fitness Gym in conjunction with the Camnet TV. So guys, today we're going to talk about the treadmill. The benefit of the treadmill. What do you get when you use the treadmills? So the treadmills, they are the best, most reliable gym equipment, so to say. And the benefit you can get mostly like the one which is obvious, like no losing weight, and also it also helps with your legs as you are running or doing any other thing. When it comes to healthy part, it helps build a healthy heart, improve the cardiovascular system. But the same good machine, which is the treadmill, also has the side part, and the side parts are created by most of us, like the errors you make when you are on a treadmill. First, I'm going to talk about jumping to the sides. Like when you're on a treadmill, you are running on a treadmill. Let's say maybe you have an emergency. Instead of slowing down, you just prefer jumping to the sides. So this may cause a shin splint, joint breakdown, and at the end of the day, like when we talk about the shin splints, you can't notice just yet. So let's assume that, okay, you're from jumping to the sides, the treadmill. Then later on you go kumo. Then you stand per tip. Then you start feeling your shin bone paining. Obviously those are shin splints. You start feeling shin splints. You are not going to notice, since you've already forgotten like what you did in the gym. So avoid jumping to the sides. That's one. And also avoid touching the side bars when you are running or when you are walking. Let's assume you just take a walk outside your house or outside the gym. Where are you going to place your hands on when you're feeling tired? Nowhere. So it's just normal. When you're feeling that you can't hold the pressure of running, you just decrease the speed. So here's what we need to do. So this one is manual. So you feel like, okay, maybe you have an emergency, there's a button here for emergency. So we have the automatic here, whereby when you just place your legs on, it just follows your pace. There's no need of you to increase. This one just follows your pace. Let's say that you are running on this automatic and you have an emergency. You just increase the intensity here. Increase the intensity, then it will harden, therefore causing you to slow down. So this kind of treadmill, you can also use it without power. You can still use it. So guys, those were just the two disadvantages of using the treadmill, which we create ourselves. Otherwise, the treadmills are the best kind of equipment you can find in a gym. You've been with me, Harrison, aka the Fitness Puppy, here at Sean's Fitness Gym. Remember, you can also get your fitness attire. We have both for males and females attire in different type of style you want. Come and check it out. Bye-bye.
And that is our fitness puppy this morning. I hope that you got a thing or two from what he was explaining. Precious, did you get anything? Sarah, did you get something?
That's actually an interesting name.
Yes.
Fitness puppy.
Fitness puppy.
You know, Miriam is always like, he's my favorite trainer.
For real?
Because of the name. Like,
Fitness.
the way he looks, and then if you look at the tamed
Fitness puppy.
yeah, they don't match. Like, they just don't,
You know, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand where the fitness. This is the problem when ladies gather. That is the problem.
That's the problem.
I'm trying to understand where the fitness puppy came from, but it's actually it's, how can I say? It's catchy because then you would want to look forward to, because the name, and I feel like he gives intense workouts, like they're really the tough workouts. So I feel like it's, the name is soft, but then the training that he will give you,
It's something else.
it's something else. But anyways, I hope you've learned one or two things on how what those machines do and what they really help when it comes to you working out on them and stuff like that. So make sure, one of the tips that I will give you if you're going to a gym for the first time and if you're just starting gym, make sure that you understand how all the machines operate and also what they do for your body. You can be going on the, what's the name again? I will not embarrass myself. But yeah, you can be going on a machine that works on your legs, but yet you want to work on your arms or your abs and stuff like that. So make sure you know the machines in the gym. Now quickly, our topic of discussion, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, is New Year resolutions. I'll start with, pick a number from 1 to 3.
2.
Pick a number from 1 to 3.
3.
Okay, you're starting.
Wow.
What are your New Year resolutions? Like, what do you have planned for the coming year, 2023?
Okay. I would say, looking at the things that I've achieved in 2022, I would also love to add more. And in 2023, I'll be my final year.
Oh yes, girl, yeah.
So I have to focus more on my studies, and I need to also develop myself more. And you know, I was thinking, literally thinking, I'm planning to also get my driver's license. These are the big things. I know 2023 is on my side.
Yeah, it's your year.
It's my year.
Reminded me of something I saw on TikTok.
And every day it's your, every year it's your year. It's your year. This one I'm not giving you. You've gotten all the years.
Yes.
No, that's really good. That's really
So
good.
those are just the major plans for me next year. Yeah, and you know, just working out on something as well.
Yeah.
So that's all I have.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
As long as I achieve the 2,
then you're good.
I'm on the safe side.
Ah, okay, good.
Well, you know, they say if you say something, people always have a way of attacking. So if you don't say anything, people won't attack anything. But some of the things that I'm being intentional about in 2023 is staying away from negativity, staying away from individuals that make you feel less of yourself, and focusing on being healthy, exercising.
That's about time.
Take serious.
Exercising is about time.
It's about time, definitely.
In 2022, but 2023, I'm hoping to just take it serious and just trying out new things.
How was your year 2022?
It's been a roller coaster of emotions, the good ones, the bad ones. But all in all, I have learned a whole lot of things. I have learned to, you know, like value myself, put myself first. In order for me to be better for the next person. Because most of the times we...
The next person.
The next person.
The next person.
The next person could be anybody.
The next person.
The next person could be anybody. Stop being weird.
Okay, cool. Okay, fine.
Yeah, in order for you to be better for the next person, you have to take care of yourself. You have to be in a better place. And yeah, I think honestly, it's been a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to get emotional right now.
Oh,
I think that's not to you.
Princess, over it to you now.
I was actually trying to run away from this, but 2023 resolutions, there I have a lot. I just got my acceptance letter into university.
Congratulations, you deserve it.
So I'm looking forward to that in 2023, and also I'm getting married. Woo!
That's a huge one.
That's a huge one. Yeah, I've just gotten something from what Katamanda said, that when you don't talk about certain things and tell the people, they have no way of attacking it, so you move in silence. But also, one thing you need to know is that there are certain things in life that you don't have to tell the world, but they will just see that those things are happening.
Yeah.
And if there are certain things that might spread out there, you did want to tell the world, but there's somebody that knew and they told the world and the world knows about it, you just have to pray that your plans are protected. Because the Bible says our plans are not his, neither are his ours, but his plans are for our own good. So, there are a lot of things. I have my 2023, I have just said, Lord, may your will be done.
Exactly. That is the goal.
Yes, but I've got these two things that are coming through next year I'm looking forward to. My 2022 has been amazing, Katamanda. Yeah. I've been amazing. Well, I've had my ups and downs. I started my 2022 sick. I lost a friend. It's been here and there, but it has been an amazing year for the fact that I have made it to the last day of the 365. It's so sad we have lost friends on the way and stuff like that, but we pray that next year will be better. Let's not beat ourselves for the things that we didn't achieve last year. Definitely. And also, I feel the term new me, new year is a lot of pressure. Because at the end of the day, you cannot be new every year.
Only babies are new, the ones that are born today.
It's just the same. New me.
Exactly.
It's more like a process of preparation. It's more like preparing yourself.
Yes, new me. There's a lot that comes with a new you. So you can't. But if you want to start over, that's all right. But then you cannot be a new you when there are certain things that you have put in place and haven't achieved. It's like you're leaving things halfway and starting over again. Exactly. But if you feel you want to be a new you every year, who are we to stop us? But just remember that in as much as the saying, new me, new year, new one, new what, have you set the goals? What are you doing to achieve those goals? If you haven't achieved those goals, don't beat yourself about it. We move on. We move the list to the next year. Until that list of the things that you have put up 4 years ago, when you had said new me, new year, are not yet done, then why would you say a new me? So, new year, good for you, but...
Unless maybe when you talk about mindset.
Mindset is...
Yeah, you can always train your mind to be new to things, you're just open to learning new things all the time. But
well, if that's the term new me, then that's a good move.
That's the new what?
New what?
Whereby you say I'll change my changing the mindset. Yes.
Closet.
Changing the closet.
Are you changing friends?
Changing friends as well. The people who are like that.
You need to cut off
friends.
certain people because toxicity around is just a whole lot. But anyways, that's my New Year resolution and how my 2022 has been. It's been a great year. Camnet TV has been amazing. I have made friends. I have made family. Pastor Victoria and Pastor Chilo actually welcomed me from the first day we came here. It's been quite an experience, I would say. Yeah.
They've been good parents.
They've really been good parents. And we thank God for our paths crossing. Yeah, and we pray that they continue to have the same spirit towards the people that they work with at the institution. Moving on to planning the new year. Today is Chizela, guys. The fireworks is what I am looking forward to. The child in me, when it comes to those things, will never die.
For some reason, will never die. Fireworks.
Why?
They just traumatize me.
In your normal life, you were a soldier.
No, I think though some time back when someone threw it at me, and then when it exploded or burst or something, my ears stopped working for some 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That
I was just disoriented. Like everything was just. So from that time,
That's very unsafe. That's very unsafe. For those of you that like fireworks, just make sure that you're safe. There are warnings on the fireworks papers, especially those big fireworks.
Yeah.
Just take precaution. We don't want you to lose your eye or to lose your ears, eardrums and stuff like that. But for me,
and for me as well,
I'm looking forward.
Watching them from a far distance, yes.
yeah, like that.
But not like me taking part in. No.
Yeah, but this countdown, I will be home.
Oh, you'll be home?
Be home?
Yeah,
For me,
I
I'm
will
going
be
to
home.
change.
I wanted to say something, but then I'll say it when we're off the covers.
I will be
And
this year.
yesterday, I had some news concerning the grade 9 and grade 8.
Oh yes, grade 9 and grade 7s,
yeah.
where results actually came out yesterday. The Examination Council of Zambia actually announced, and we have like 57%, I stand to be corrected on the percentage, of pupils that made it to grade 10.
Yeah.
And also for grade 7s, we had an education system that didn't have what do you call it? Passing mark.
Yeah.
It was automatic that when you write your grade 7, you go
just have to
into
cross
grade 8.
over.
Yes. So now this year's pupils that wrote their grade 7, actually the last one, we'll have that in one of our stories making headlines,
Yeah.
on zooming into the headlines. So yeah. That's actually, I had a flashback when I was seeing the post on social media, parents posting their children, congratulations for making it and stuff like that.
Others are crying.
I remember, I remember mine, and it was quite emotional. I remember I got 701, grade 7, and then I think I got 426, my grade 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
For me, on my grade 7, I got 722.
Yeah?
In my grade 9, I didn't do well. I got 385.
Yeah, that's not the people that get 100, but we appreciate it. But also for the grade 12s, if you don't make it, GCE is there. Like you have
Even
a
for the grade
second
9,
chance. Right? Yes.
So does that mean a grade 9 should also be attending class?
Well, I don't know with other schools, but I remember I had a relative, when they fed their grade 9, they proceeded to grade 10, but then while they were in grade 10, they sat for GCE to write their grade 9, and they passed.
Oh.
So they had an examination number from it's just confusing, but other people actually work that out. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh well, should we go to our next segment?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Health Corner. Let's see what the doctors have for us this morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to today's segment of the Health Corner on the Breakfast Show. I am Dr. Nakuya Namfaya. In today's topic, we are going to talk about the prevention of cholera. This week, we have been talking about cholera and how it is caused and some of the symptoms. Yesterday, we talked about how cholera is treated, and we discussed that cholera can be treated with antibiotics, but more especially the need for rehydration in patients who have cholera because it causes dehydration. So today we are going to talk about how you can prevent yourself from getting cholera. So good sanitation and hygiene is key in the prevention of cholera. And some of the things that you can do are, 1, make sure that you wash your hands every time you use the bathroom or every time you want to eat your food. Make sure your hands are clean and washed with soap. If you are not able to wash your hands at the time, you can sanitize with an alcohol-based sanitizer. Secondly, make sure that you wash your fruits and your vegetables thoroughly before you can eat them or before you can cook them. Number 3, make sure that you drink clean and safe water. You can do this by boiling the water that you drink or chlorinating the water that you drink. Make sure that the water is clean and safe for consumption. Number 4, you need to cover your food every time you are done eating. Make sure that it is free from contamination, from flies, and cover your food. Make sure that your food is covered before and even after you finish eating to prevent it from being contaminated. Number 5, make sure that you buy food from people that you trust and know that their hygiene is excellent. Do not buy food anyhow on the streets. You may never know where you can get the bacteria which causes cholera. Number 6, ensure the proper use of toilets and pit latrines in our homes and in the public places. So this week we have been talking about cholera, and we have learned so much about cholera. We have learned what it is, and cholera is an acute diarrheal disease that causes diarrhea, and it's caused by a bacterial infection that is called Vibrio cholerae. This infection gets into the intestines and causes one to lose a lot of water from the body. Cholera can have no symptoms, but sometimes it can cause severe symptoms that can cause dehydration and, if not treated, can cause organ damage and even death. Cholera can be treated, and it's important that you get help or get medical attention as soon as possible. As soon as you discover that you have cholera, it's important to go to the hospital. It can also be prevented by good sanitation and hygiene practices in our homes and in our communities. So make sure that you are washing your hands, make sure you are washing your food before you eat, make sure that you are sanitizing your hands. Make sure that you cover your food and cook your food thoroughly, and cook your food very well to prevent you from having cholera. When drinking water, make sure you're drinking water that is chlorinated or boiled. If you are not chlorinating, make sure you boil your water before you can drink it. So that has been what we have been learning about this week and what we have talked about this week. So I hope you have learned something, and I hope you will be able to practice good hygiene in your homes and in your communities to prevent cholera and to prevent the spread of cholera. This has been the Health Corner on the Breakfast Show on Camnet TV. Be sure to watch again next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Well, that's what we've prepared for you on the Health Corner right there. And I hope that you've learned 1 or 2 things on the prevention of cholera. And as we've been emphasized to say, you have to wash your hands before eating, also after eating, of course, and after using the toilet. And also, you need to be covering your food in order to prevent the cholera bacteria. I hope you've also got something out of that.
Yeah. I felt like I was back in grade 4. What grade is that?
Nursery.
Yeah,
Where we talk about
just grade
prevention
1,
of cholera.
kindergarten.
And that
The songs.
Yeah.
Ding dong bell. Just hear ding dong bell.
Which one?
Ding dong bell.
No.
Oh, that's the song you're singing. You see? But anyways, I hope we've learned 1 or 2 things on how to prevent ourselves from cholera, because it's rainy season and it's coupled with different waterborne diseases. And also I get to have goosebumps whenever we talk about waterborne diseases, because I remember last year around this month is when I got typhoid, and it's the worst experience. So contaminated water, make sure that you add chlorine if you're unable to afford mineral water. If you can't afford chlorine, make sure that you boil your water, your drinking water. Always boil your drinking water. And also remember that when she spoke about washing our fruits and vegetables, that habit, I know it happens in most Zambian homes where when you buy vegetables, of course they know they're tied in a certain bundle. You just buy, cut the head of the vegetable, and then cut the vegetables, then you wash after. That's a bad habit, and it needs to come to an end.
Definitely.
When you buy vegetables, it might be cabbage, it might be our common vegetable, red, Chinese, spinach, mention them, lettuce. Make sure that you wash your vegetable per leaf, okay? Like you literally get a leaf and just wash it properly, because when the women are packing the vegetables, remember that's done manually, okay? When they're packing the vegetables, number one, the ropes they use, okay, the ropes they use to tie the vegetables are from a sack. Okay, that sack, usually the sacks that are used are those that old sacks of meal and stuff like that.
Yes.
It has been in different places. So sometimes they might mistakenly tie the vegetables with the consumers of vegetables, okay, the worms and stuff like that. So when you just get your batch of vegetables and cut it and then wash it after, you might have already cut what was maybe accidentally tied with the vegetables. So make it a habit to wash your vegetables per leaf. Okay, remove one, wash it properly, or put it in a basin or wherever you wash your vegetables from, and then you cut your vegetables, and then we move on. So just avoid that.
And also for the fruits, you find that somebody gets the fruit maybe from
the streets.
Yes, from there.
It's bad.
It's also bad.
You can get cholera by doing that. Which other thing?
I feel like I'm in class.
You feel like you're in class? No, there's so many things that we what's the word? We take lightly.
Yeah.
But the implications are actually really bad. One of them also is, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't like the idea of washing your vegetables in the sink.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just doesn't sit well.
Okay, but if at all you clean it, like cleaning it, you get
like
right?
clean.
You're on the safe side as long as it's always clean. You can be using any chemicals to kill bacteria. Because quite right, the sink carries a lot of bacteria, I would say. Yeah. So as long as you clean it with the detergents that we have, you definitely you'll be on the safe side. Okay, so you're on the safe side to wash.
I'll stick to using a dish to wash my vegetables.
To wash like
that's
that.
Your preference. We don't judge you, but I think.
Yeah, I won't judge. I don't judge the people that
I would judge you.
Wash their vegetables in the sink. But anyways, we all have our preferences.
Yeah.
So that is all that we had for you on Health Corner. I hope you've learned one or two things. Prevention is better than
cure.
Oh,
okay.
Ninjaska.
That was cure.
Let's start slanging over here.
Into our third segment, which is the money market. Let's take a look at how the stock exchange rate looks like as of today. So the United States dollar is buying at 17 kwacha.91 ngwe and selling at 18 kwacha.26 ngwe. The euro is buying at 19 kwacha.7 ngwe and selling at 19 kwacha.45 ngwe. South African rand is buying at 1 kwacha.5 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha.7 ngwe. The Great British pound is buying at 21 kwacha.52 ngwe and selling at 21 kwacha.94 ngwe. That is your money market.
The dollar is at 18. We're selling at 18. Next week, guys.
It's affecting everyone.
Lord, have mercy, Jesus, have mercy.
I didn't expect that from you, but
Precious, no. And anyway,
it is what it is.
Just say something.
For us who paid bills,
yeah, it's
we
really
know the implications.
Exactly.
We know the implications.
Mother
Yes,
You know,
I do pay bills. I do pay bills, precious.
Yes,
I do pay bills.
We pay bills.
So you know,
I will not.
you need some water, please.
But anyway, we're in blue today, different shades of blue jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you guys are looking up to me and stuff like that.
I think it's up to me.
It's a good thing. But anyways, let's get into zooming into the headlines. We look at stories that caught our attention in the course of the week.
Yes, and one of the stories that we have today is something that got a lot of people excited and others not so excited. It got mixed feelings from different institutions, different individuals, employees, employers. But anyway, let's just get to see the story on the increased wages.
Yeah.
So let's see what happened.
The move by the Zambian government to increase the minimum wage for domestic, shopkeepers and general workers has come as a sigh of relief and the positive festive season gift to some workers who continue to struggle to meet their needs in the wake of the ever-escalating cost of living. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, following consultation with sector players, revised the earnings of various vulnerable employees in the country. Among the notable changes is that domestic workers will be earning 1,300 kwacha from 993 kwacha 60 ngwe. Labour Minister Brenda Tambatamba has emphasized that the revised minimum wages will only apply to vulnerable categories of employees and not unionized workers.
Under the statutory instrument number 70, Shopkeepers Order of 2018, Grade 1, for instance, handy persons, office orderlies, odd gross was 1,698.16 ngwe, and the new gross pay is 2,313.10 ngwe. Grade 2, for instance, drivers, sales assistants and packers are covered here. The odd gross pay was 1,994.40 ngwe, and the new gross pay is 2,722 kwacha 57.
Although it is worth noting that the revised minimum wages do not tally with the cost of living for a family of 5 as measured by the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflections, JCTR, which stands at 8,567 kwacha 20 ngwe as of the month of November 2022. And the minister said the Tripartite Consultative Labour Council has also passed a resolution to review the existing minimum wages and conditions of employment for mining and communication sectors.
Has taken ZIPA to gather more, or has tasked ZIPA to gather more information in order to adequately guide the LAC to come up with appropriate recommendations on the formulation of the sector-based minimum wages for the information, communication and technology, ICT and mining sectors, which were not completed. The minimum wages and conditions of employment for truck and bus drivers order was considered, but the LAC resolved to carry out a comparative analysis with other countries within the COMESA region to benchmark best practice, as this particular sector is operating across the borders.
The Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, ZCTU, is happy to note that the wages for vulnerable workers have been revised upwards.
The challenge on the unions to up their game, that this minimum wage which has been set, we don't expect the unionized workers to get something near to this, but it should be above. So we will engage on the capacity building, especially from our partners Congress, where our members are able to negotiate and have more bargaining power.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News. On Tuesday, Minister of Labour and Social Security, Brenda Tambatamba, announced the revision of the minimum wage for domestic, shopkeepers and general workers. Among the notable changes, domestic workers will be earning 1,300 kwacha from 993 kwacha 60 ngwe. For those under grade 1 category, for instance, office orderlies will be earning 2,313 kwacha 10 ngwe from 1,698 kwacha 60 ngwe, and those under grade 2, for instance drivers and sales assistant, will be getting 2,722 kwacha 57 ngwe from 1,994 kwacha 40 ngwe. But social scientist Innocent Kolala notes that the economy seems not to be friendly to almost everyone, including the major employers, fearing that people may end up losing their jobs.
We are going to see a lot of domestic workers losing employment, especially that is a gross, which should also include that they need to be contributing to NAPSA. When they are contributing to NAPSA, meaning there is a 5% from 1,300, which is not included in that amount of money, which the employer has to put as he or she will be contributing to NAPSA on behalf of this employee. These are some of the issues which I think when we sat around the table, we could have been looking for.
But Ministry of Labour and Social Security Labour Commissioner Givens Montengwa disagrees, saying they have taken into consideration the plight of workers and employees.
Those that are affected must not stay back. They must come forward to the ministry and tell us exactly how the minimum wages will be are being implemented in their respective companies. And when we proceed to inspect ourselves, we'll be inspecting and riding on the basis of the provisions of the law, where we have powers to direct for the payment of those arrears and direct the parties to devise payment plans if our assessment is that the company is incapacitated to some extent. Because at the end of the day, I think what is paramount is to ensure that the employers and employees are speaking to each other. There's appreciation of the prevailing conditions in that company with regard to the financial capability of the company, with regard to the survival of the company.
He adds that they have put in place modalities to ensure compliance in the implementation of the revised minimum wages.
Minimum wages are meant to ensure that there is just remuneration for those people who must be protected by the law, for those people who are considered to be vulnerable by the law. And those employees are the ones who are not unionized, because if you are unionized, then you have a platform of the social dialogue which the employer and the unions engage.
The adoption and implementation of the minimum wages in the past, in most instances, they were not corresponding, but for the new changes, eyes are on the Ministry of Labour to prove otherwise. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Well, there you have it. Now, that's one topic that has come with different opinions, mixed emotions. We're just having a discussion with the girls that, for example, that is the minimum wage has been increased, okay? So now, when the new year starts,
because they say it's effective January.
Yeah, effective the 1st of January 2023. Now, people are, honestly speaking, if I was in a situation where I am getting 980 kwacha, which was then somewhere there, the minimum wage, and then now it's like 1,300 kwacha, and then I get into my new year, January month it comes, I get the same amount. 3 months down the line, the same amount. I don't think I would have the guts,
the confidence
to go and approach my boss that no, boss, increase, so if I can afford it, because I will be scared to lose my job, because there are people that exploit their workers. If you come to me, okay, it has been increased, the government has announced, I don't have the money to increase your salary, so what are you going to do? You stop working. I'll find somebody else.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are certain things that need to be put in place in as much as this is being, well, the Labour Commissioner has mentioned to say no, there will be some sort of inspection to make sure that it's being implemented and how some companies are actually going to work around that. But what happens to those companies that are unable to do that?
Because at the end of the day, the government can say this, but they don't know the income that the company gets to have, you know.
But yeah, that's a great situation.
It will be very difficult. It will be very hard. It will be very hard. In as much as people are excited and happy, but we know there are certain individuals who know deep down their hearts, they know that this is not going to change anything. Because, like you said, you can't go to your boss and confront them and tell them, no, boss, when I kid.
But you actually have the right.
You have the right.
You do have the right, but the
you have the right
to
do
even
it, ask for an increment.
In as much as you do have those rights, but we all know some of the bosses that people work for. When you go and approach them, they'll tell you, do we have the money? Have you seen the money?
Yes.
Do you know how much we get to make in a month for you to be requesting for this? If you don't want the job, you might as well
go. We'll find something.
Give us a resignation letter or something, you know. So it will be very difficult. It will be very hard. In as much as the government has already made their decision and it will be effective in January, but we all know deep down our hearts.
And also one thing I have discovered is that not yet a company owner, well, I'm hoping God will bless me one day. I feel like when you're employing somebody, especially if you are just a company that's starting, you need to have a certain budget.
Exactly.
Because there's no way you can have somebody working in that institution for 5 years, for 3 years, and their salary has been...
It's not growing.
It's just not growing. It's just there. Because at the end of the day, the economy is changing, things are changing, the food basket is changing, food items are increasing. So there's no way you expect your employee to be living a certain life for that long time. So I feel it should be some sort of consideration from the employers as well. At some point to say, okay, even increase by 200 kwacha or 100 kwacha. That's a difference.
Yes,
in as much as they increased my salary, but only by a 200 kwacha or a 300 kwacha.
But it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. So I feel it's meeting halfway. In as much as I am the employer and I'm increasing my salary, what is it that you're doing that is different from what you were doing a year and 2 years ago for me to increase your salary? I'm not going to increase your salary if your working culture is horrible, you come late. You're not motivating me to increase your salary in as much as I would want to, but you also need to meet me halfway. So I feel those are some of the things why some employers don't consider increasing salaries, and even when the minimum wage increment comes through, they'll feel no need of doing so because there's nothing you're doing different. But also on the other side, let's just meet halfway.
And just like you have said it's also somehow the other way. We can like vice versa it. We have their bosses who just don't increase their employees.
Like they're just comfortable with someone getting that.
Not really that they're very comfortable or something. They just feel like they're wasting money.
Ooh, that hurts.
And the thing is, sometimes people put in effort when they are appreciated. If I'm not being appreciated, definitely I'm not going to put in efforts. If you want me to put in efforts, appreciate me. We are complimenting each other. You understand? So if somebody is being appreciated, they'll obviously put in their level best. They'll give it their all because they know I am getting this amount. These people they've seen that I deserve this. So let me also put in efforts to work hard and make them happy at the end of the day. So
like we said, we need to meet halfway, because honestly speaking, there's just so much that has to do with financials. Financials currently. I remember we had a conversation with one of my friends where we were talking about getting cars, and it's no longer a luxury lifestyle.
It's a necessity.
It's a necessity, because if you calculate how much you spend from point A to point B in a month, and then you multiply that by 365 days, removing some days that you're usually home and not going anywhere, the amount that you spend is actually a lot. And also, movements in Lusaka, you will find where you stay and where you need to buy your groceries or things that you need, the necessities in the house. There's quite a distance. And also when you buy those things, it's not like you carry them in your clothes or in your pockets. you need carrier bags. And also, it's not like when you're buying groceries, you buy 2 or 3. You need transportation from point A to point B. So I feel the minimum wages coming through is actually a good move, because looking at the current economy, and also I feel like employers should also just sit down and re-strategize on how they can make sure that their employers meet them halfway. And also
the employees, let's also be patient. Let's also be patient.
Because there's no way the minimum wage has been increased, and then you expect the institution to make a move in the next 2-3 days, because people are going back to their jobs next week. So month end of January they are expectant. So just allow your company, your institution to plan. And I'm sure you have a meeting. Meetings are very important in institutions. That's the only way you can communicate.
Definitely.
Yeah, anyway, we'll move on to our next story that caught our attention in the course of the week.
We know that we're all aware concerning the examinations. The grade 9s and the grade 7s just received their results yesterday, and I would say there are some who've not made it, but you still have a chance to go to the next level. So we can see what the ECZ have for us right there.
The enforcement of automatic progression from primary to secondary school in Zambia by the Patriotic Front-led administration sparked a lot of debate, with many teachers' unions and stakeholders opposing the move. 6 years after the policy was enforced, the United Party for National Development UPND-led administration has, however, decided to suspend the automatic progression for all those who sit for their grade 7 compost examinations into grade 8. Announcing this development in Lusaka Friday, Minister of Education Douglas Yakalima says 2022 is the last time automatic progression will be in effect.
I wish to inform the nation that this is the last time automatic progression will be in effect. Effective 2023, the Examination Council of Zambia is directed to introduce a fair grade in order to end the automatic progression of learners from primary to secondary education. Candidates who will fail the grade 7 examination effective 2023 will have options, including repeating the grade 7 examination to enhance quality, or they can go and do skills accelerator.
The minister has also announced that out of the 284,880 candidates who sat for their grade 9 examinations this year, 154,304 candidates have obtained certificates, while 104,010 candidates obtained statements of results.
Of the 284,880 candidates who sat for the 2022 examination, 154,305 candidates obtained certificates. This represents a marginal decrease of 0.2 percentage points from 54.43% in 2001. A total of 104,010 candidates, representing 36.51% obtained statements.
The minister also had words for teachers who have refused to obtain practicing certificates and has directed the district education board secretary in all districts to deal with the matter.
Your colleagues in the health fraternity, they are scrounging to go and get their own practicing certificate. So you as teachers who make doctors, why wouldn't you be proud to have a teaching certificate? Already we are employing teachers whom we are sending abroad. Recently we employed 30 teachers to go to Seychelles. You cannot go and teach if you don't have a teaching certificate. So I implore on all the teachers to be compliant, because this is the best that we can do.
Meanwhile, the Examination Council of Zambia, ECZ, says it has curtailed all form of examination leakages and says it will continue to offer examinations that meet international standards.
We will ensure that the reforms we implement will be those that will help learners be able to perform better, be better focused in terms of career aspirations, and that they should be able to get enough time and support to ensure that they excel even in a better way. So the examination reforms will begin next year as well.
Prudence Chota reporting for Camnet TV News.
So yeah, congratulations to everybody that made it to the next grade. And
for the grade 7s, should we congratulate them? Because I mean,
should we just have to, because they participated.
Okay.
Yes. They added effort to it. So we just have to congratulate them.
Yeah, I think we take grade 7 exams so lightly.
Yeah. I mean, with what the Ministry of Education just announced, the ECZ.
Yeah.
Should we still congratulate them?
Yes. For these ones, yes.
We should?
Yes. But for the next term,
the ones that are coming 2023,
then it will be a go
because
forward,
it's automatic.
These ones that is automatic. These ones, they're the last ones.
Oh, so these ones have passed.
So these ones have passed. These ones have passed. So they're automatically going to grade 8.
Okay.
The next year, I think government will... I didn't really hear the whole speech. I don't know if they mentioned on how they will make sure that grade 7s don't automatically go to the next grade. I'm sure they will have like a cutting point. Cutting point for grade 7s. For you to make it to grade 8, you need to have gotten certain points. So yeah. So for those that attempted to write this year and you went to grade 8, well, congratulations. But if you're in grade 6, congratulations to everybody. And if you're in grade 6 and you're going into your 7th grade next year, make sure that you just work extra hard, because you won't be served by the automatic progression system, because now you'll be given
like a cutting point.
Cutting points. Anyway, we move on to our next story that caught our attention in the course of the week. You know, it's rainy season, so if you stay near places where there are naked wires and cables, just be extra careful, because a woman caught her fate where she had gone to help herself at a named location, and unfortunately she was electrocuted. So the family have asked the relevant authorities to come in and help them get compensation for the loss of their family member. Here's the story.
Residents of Plainview area in Lusaka West were left in shock after a 35-year-old woman identified as Alice Nyambe got electrocuted in the early evenings of Sunday, 25th December 2022, while trying to answer the call of nature. According to an eyewitness, Miss Nyambe, enjoying a Christmas in the company of her friends at this bar, decided to answer the call of nature in this corner, where she met a fate after this wire cable electrocuted her. Godson Kawilila, a brother-in-law to the deceased, explains that there was negligence by the owner of the shop, who illegally connected electricity from his shop to a makeshift store outside, but that the live electric cables were not well attended to.
tivutana tabala double chat short time mutetinali naye aleka kuoneka ine kufunza uta nanga mzanga ali kuti hapa kudouble chat TV ni short time bakamba kuta uyu muntu kuli muntu kumbuyo kwa mene agwiriwa na malaiti kwenda kuchekenga pesa story muntu anayuma kudara. So chamene tipempa chabe tipempa vazesko vazipitamu kuona kuti nanga connection amene vachita connection maraiti mashop ili bwanji, because there is no way muntu achose ntambo kuchoka mushop kuenda connecta kuntemba, which is wrong.
And the family to the deceased is, however, not happy in the manner in which their relative has died, and have since demanded that the owner of the business compensates them for the loss, adding that the woman has left behind 2 children who have nowhere to go.
A family ya mene Asia is stinga kwanisi kuichita panji kuisunga wamene wana connecta malaiti haya tingankale nawo pamozi timvere mwamene vazakambira vangasunge vana nango government ingatitandizeko musungira vana. So nchamene ninga kambeko ini winango alina 12 years, winango alina 6 years.
Meanwhile, others have described the late Alice Nyambe as a good Samaritan who will be greatly missed by our community.
Twanteza ogula ku vegetables, tomato, onion. She was a very good lady. Tizaba misinga nankala touched. Na infaya ya mine ba fasina wa mine kupangono ya.
The sister omozi wamene zotisunga isekuni. Eze muntu omozi wosekana banzake oruni basikana bankali bakuru bankali bangono. But bichame china chidabwisa che mailo. Tilinaye pamozi. Tichoke mkati tubwere kuno. Timvera chati muntu wanu ayuma. So ilipo problem oni hapa connection ya malaiti ndio alengeza kuti uyu muntu atisiye.
And police deputy spokesperson Danny Mwale has confirmed the development to Camnet News and says an inquiry file has been opened and the body of the deceased has been deposited at the University Teaching Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem and burial. May her soul rest in peace. Prudence Chota reporting for Camnet TV News.
Fire, as in the early hours of this morning, destroyed property worth millions of kwacha at house number 19 in Luangwa Township, Godesha Street, a property of a 64-year-old widow, Rachel Tembo. All the furniture, including electronic appliances, have been burnt to ashes. Some of the electronic appliances which have been reduced to ashes include plasma TV sets, refrigerators, home theater sound system, and this 4-plate cooker. The granddaughter to the owner of the house, Patience Tembo, smashed the window to create an exit for her 64-year-old grandmother.
The windows were all closed, so we decided to break one of the windows, and in my confused state, I wasn't able to notice anything I could use to break the window, and I used my hand, so I injured it. And I managed to break the window and call for help.
A family member, Mrs. Gift Tembo, demands for a compensation from the utility company Zesco for the loss incurred.
Mom has, this is the only property that Mom has, and Mom she's a widow. Tababomba. So at least, in those areas, at least,
another family member, Loti Tembo, says the cause of fire was the power surge. He says his mother had a huge blasting shortly after power was restored.
This whole issue with Zesco because of their power surges. Normally in Luangwa, they're just short power surges. Within 20-30 minutes, power is back. But the way it comes with power, with full force. Because if you even look at the bulbs, the way, that's why they were saying the bulb, that's why Mom said the bulbs blasted first. Next, it was a spark from the TP. And if you look, even the wiring is showing that the power was going through all the pipelines. That's why it was just too fast because of Zesco power surge. And normally, when you complain to Zesco always want to run away from their faults. So I'm also appealing to the headquarters in Lusaka to kindly look into this situation and compensate us, please.
Ward Development Committee WDC chairperson Louis Katontoka says Zesco needs to compensate the widow.
This is the widow I'm talking about. She's a widow, the woman. I mean, she needs the support from Zesco, from the government. I'm appealing to the government to step in, as Bali, our president, Bali will step in to help the Tembo family fix this. As we can see now, they don't have where to sleep.
Petronella Msangulule, Camnet TV News, in Kabwe, Central Province.
And those are the two sad stories that we are just from seeing. Please give us your comments on our Facebook page, even though we're in the dying moments of the show. But please leave your comments on our Facebook page and then let us know what you think of the stories that we had for you today. And of course, that's the topic of discussion, which is pressures. The resolutions we have for 2020.
Yeah.
Let us know all that because we want to know.
And also, just on the previous stories that we're from having, is it just me or load shedding actually hasn't started yet?
I think it hasn't started.
It hasn't, but some places it has.
Oh, so it's just in selective places? Is it?
Because it has started. Maybe it would go, like, maybe
because they said the festive season, because of the celebrations that go around. Maybe that's what's going on.
But for us, like me, at my place, we've more like had no power for 2 hours, I would say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For how many days? How many days?
Just 2 days.
Maybe they're doing it in... Maybe power goes when I'm not home one day.
Because you're already home.
These days...
You're never home. Are you home?
I'm running errands. You can't
Of
understand.
course. No, I do understand. That's why I'm saying you would never know it, whether it
But anyways, the reason why I asked is because during a load shedding period is when such things happen, because power will go, and then when it comes back, the voltage is so high. In as much as we are advised to turn off all our electric appliances when power goes, there are times where we have actually experienced it before when I was still with my parents in Makeni, where power had gone, and then when it came back, my mom always had this theory: when power comes back, just make sure you wait at least 5 to 10 minutes before you can turn on the appliances. Maybe that can also work for you. But there was a time where we thought it was just one of those things, she was being paranoid, and when power came, we immediately turned on the electricity. That was a bulb in the living room, and the voltage was so high that the bulb exploded. Is it exploding? I don't know what that's. Yeah. That's exploding, right?
It's exploding.
It exploded.
Yeah.
It was so bad that we got so scared, and some electric something happened in the house. So it's always, you should always make sure when power goes, and when it goes, you turn off your electric appliances, and when it comes back, wait for a few minutes before you can actually turn on your electric appliances. In as much as you are excited that power is back, just take precaution. Yeah.
And then the first story, though, the woman who died.
That was really sad, and she's left behind 2 kids.
And
that's really sad. I feel like it's really sad. I feel like the Lusaka City Council should do those they call them inspections, where they check how the situation when it comes to sanitary is going, because there are some bars that don't have restrooms. Okay, so and when you're drinking alcohol, you need to go to the restrooms most of the time. So there are people that would go and help themselves in the next building because they need to help themselves. So I feel if we have opened the bar and there's no proper place or where people can actually go and help themselves, then you shouldn't have actually opened that place in the first place, because there are places that are meant for such things. Some people actually turn shops, like a common shop, into a tavern or a bar. I feel like there's some regulations that are there, and they should actually be followed. It's really sad.
Really sad. And the other thing, I feel as neighbors, we should always look out for each other.
Exactly.
If you see there is something that is not going on right, like they were saying that shop owner did
the connections,
illegal connections. If the neighbors really cared, they would have probably, I don't know, maybe approached him. If
I
not
think they did.
They would have reported him somewhere. I don't know.
Just some people who are stubborn. So the best way to do is
report to the
them.
authorities so that they come, so that we avoid such cases.
Yes.
You understand? So we need to look out for ourselves, not only our neighbors, but also ourselves. I think this is not the first time we're experiencing such.
No.
The other time it was in Tendere, like a young boy. So I feel people, when you see people are doing illegal connections, please can you report to the authorities so that we protect our children, we protect ourselves, because these things, they are unforeseen.
Yes, of course.
But we can prevent ourselves. So.
Yeah, we really can. And also talking about cables and stuff, there was a story that we carried as Camnet TV where thieves were actually stealing. The audacity of stealing cables, eh?
Can you imagine? At our house, we're victim. We are victims of that.
For real?
Yes, we are victims. We just noticed that was around 23.
Power went.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Then we check, because you know we just have this thing when power goes, you have to check on the neighbors just to make sure that it's everyone
don't have power.
Yes. So we noticed there's power there, and it was during rain season. We noticed, we checked the other neighbors.
Rain
everyone
season
had,
and they spare cable.
That's why we're saying.
The season they usually.
In my opinion, I just don't feel like they are just ordinary, or they were ordinary thieves. Probably they were those people that were fired by Zesco, so they knew the connections and everything, so they know the tricks. Because an ordinary person cannot know where to start from. they will be definitely
It's actually true. It's actually very true.
Okay, would somebody with the idea, I would say, or the knowledge on how to...
No, Sarah, an idea
It has to be someone who knows how it's done.
How it's done.
How it's connected.
But you know, I can also learn on how it's connected, which step I should cut, which step I shouldn't. And
because I feel like you're supposed to wear some protective
yes,
things
because you know,
make sure that you don't get electrocuted.
I can also buy that.
Okay, then are you trying to protect some people? Or what?
I'm not trying to.
You can steal that cable, Sarah.
I'm not trying to defend them.
Because there was a South African video I saw on social media where someone, I think they were trying to steal something in those transmitters. They're called transmitters.
Yes.
Transformers, yes. And then he was electrocuted and his skin was literally falling off from his body.
Wow.
It was that bad, where someone is walking and it was really disturbing, where the skin had come out. It was literally even hanging. And at that point, you can't even feel pain. At that point.
Yeah, for real.
Because the body becomes numb. It becomes numb. Like you can't feel anything.
Precious, I just wish you didn't mention it.
Our wounds.
Okay, catch yourself there.
Let's just be safe.
Let's just be safe. Let's just be safe. It's true that it's rainy season. If there's some, actually talking about loose cables, I need to tell my landlord, there's a loose cable I saw in the yard and we have kids. So just make sure you take precaution, because I feel like a lot of things, I don't know if it's just me, a lot of things happen during the festive season.
A lot.
Like,
mostly.
It's so busy that a lot of things get to happen, and just because you stay indoors, you think everybody is safe. There are a lot of things that are happening out there. But also remember to just take precaution, take care of yourself. If you're drinking, don't drive. And if you're driving, don't drink. Make sure you have a sober mind. If you're a group and you're going out and going to have fun, just make sure that one of you is at least sober-minded to drive, and they can drive. Make sure they have a license, like Sarah is planning to actually get
so
one. You will be my
driving.
+1 next year.
No problem. No, fast. No problem.
So just be safe. Unfortunately, we've come to the dying minute of the show. It's been a great year. You have been great. Thank you for the support that you've rendered to Camnet TV from the time that it started up until this. You've made our 2022 great. We want to appreciate you for actually being one of the greatest viewers in the world. We're giving you that award from Camnet TV to you. And thank you for actually supporting all the programs that have come and gone. And just thank you for being glued to not just another channel, Camnet TV. From we're doing a toast.
We're doing a toast
to 2023.
Cheers. 2023.
Yes.
2023, and you.
Amazing here.
Yo, from me, Precious Mzea Sakaleji.
Amazing Katamanda.
You've forgotten one name.
I gave you a name.
I may say it now. From me, Precious Mzea Sakaleji.
Amazing Loveness Katamanda.
And Sarah Chandamvanga.
And also on behalf of Amos Lungu and Isaac Chifita on the other side is have a beautiful day and good morning.
Good morning.
Bye.